probably are not going to be able to carry enough water all the time on your back to last you more than a couple of days, especially if you're putting a lot of exertion out. So you need a way to be able to purify water, whether that's through heat, whether that's a UV pen, whether that's some sort of a chemical sterilization, or whether that is some form of a particulate filter like Sawyer or Lystra and so forth. Ask those of you, and it's good to have more than one, right? It's good to have a backup as well. And maybe your plan B or even your plan C is always going to be to boil water, which means you need to have a way to start a fire and so forth. Okay, so that's sort of the survival piece. So, it covers with that shelter, covers us with water, covers us with some form of being able to get warmth. Beyond that, though, in modern day and age too, a big survival piece that's totally changed since I was, in my 20s, is the idea of GPS coordination or coordinates and GPS tools and your apps on your phone, whether it's, AllTrails or Onyx or Gaia or whatever. But that means that power is now an issue. So we need to have a way to have backup power, battery, lightweight type of battery, or even a solar type of battery, something that we can make sure that we have power to be able to find our way out, unless you have, as a backup at least, some sort of a topo map and the ability to read a topo map. That's actually a skill as opposed to just something you can use. So that's also become kind of a new thing, since I started doing this. Yeah. On the other side, on the medical side, on the first aid side, we need a way to be able to, of course, both sterilize or clean, not necessarily sterilize, but clean out any kind of wounds in the field and then patch them up. And that can be from the common stuff like blisters on our feet to just minor, boo-boos that we just want to keep clean and make sure that they don't get dirty in the field. And then some form of a way to be able to clean those out, whether it's through just an irrigation and it's just like some form of like irrigation syringe, and we're just using our drinking water for that, which is probably the easiest lightly way to do that, to even having maybe some betadine or something that we're able to use to mix to be able to at least clean the area around the wound off and so forth. Those are probably some of the most important things. So being able to have closures and pull skin together and so forth. But there are many other little things in there. So if you're hiking, one of the big you come into is things like chafing, just chafing in your thighs. I've seen in the military, I've seen guys end up with cellulitis and having to be shipped out to higher care after a week or so of not taking care of something like chafing. Blisters as well, so there's certain types of tape, right? And then also, sprains and strains, like this is a skill thing, but as I show out in my book, there are some really good taping techniques